What's going on, guys? You can see the holy light because we are about to talk about some holiness. Well, not really. I'm just wanted to try something brand new. And when I mean brand new, I just kind of wanted to try out something that I was really on my mind. I spoke about it in the last couple videos. And as you can see, we are here on the Fate Core theme page. And the reason why I'm going here is because I kind of wanted to do a couple videos, especially because there's usually nothing to do in the game. So I wanted to do like, not a series, I don't want to call it a series, but I wanted to touch on a specific FC group and really kind of talk a little bit more in depth of it. What we normally usually do is that we usually talk about a character and kind of specify that one character when they drop in the thing, but I really wanted to touch on FC line. Not saying I'm going to do them all, I don't want to attach myself to that, but I do want to just kind of touch into Blooming Someday and really kind of like talk about what it's actually become, maybe what its purpose was, and really talk about some of the shining stars inside of the FC line that not even I really could have predicted back then. So without further ado, skidamaricky dinky do, let's get into it. All right, guys, so of course, man, we are here in the building, and this is it. This is the thing. We all know it's Shell. Oh wait, I don't want it to do it for every little character. Oh no, you know what? It's not that bad. So we got the Shell, the Talia, the Chatty, the Corgi, the Jane, and the Leper. Well, no, Legger. It's Legger. Anyway, I really wanted to kind of touch on, you know, this line, more specifically a character that I'm going to address a little bit later in the video. Or maybe you can put two and two together and, I don't know, figure out from the thumbnail what the fuck I'm going to talk about. But anywho, I really want to talk about this line because it kind of is a little bit more overpowered. Like, we knew it was strong, right? The whole thing. So let's start from the top, class. These characters here are pretty cool, but I feel like this is obviously something that was more meant for tanky, the supports of the line, so they kind of benefit mostly from it. Now what happened was, the story goes, ladies and gentlemen, so a couple of times I'll be using FC Talia and sometimes she would just kind of hit really hard, and I noticed that you know, when you're in the midst of fighting in PvP, what's normally gonna happen? You're gonna get a hit off and it's gonna be okay. The dark side is bothering me, hold on. Oh yeah, even lighting looks so much better. Anyway, so so I noticed every once in a while that FC Talia would kind of hit really hard, and I was like, well, damn, girl, like, where you getting all that strength from? But the thing is that you would have her awaken because she's a strong enough character that you would have awaken. Same thing with FC Shell, you would have them awaken, so if they did some good damage, you're not really trying to, like, at least I don't check for that shit. Oh, is my dimensional leap, and what how many stacks are on my dimensional leap? I'm not checking that shit, neither are you. Then don't pretend. Okay, if you were in the comment section, be like, I always check for dimensional leap stacks all the time. Fuck you, you don't do that, and I know you don't. So, so you know, it is interesting to say the least, but that is where we're gonna get to the next part. Is that I really want to highlight Chatty baby, yeah, Chatty baby, and I'm even gonna try to go into some PvP. Maybe in another video, maybe the video after this, we'll try to go into PvP. Yes, it's tag week, so we can pick fights that we're gonna be advantageous to. And the whole thing about this character is that she is the best non-gold character in the Blooming Someday because she utilizes the actual Blooming Someday passive, the dimensionally passive, the best. Now, I've said this before, and you know, I guess it's kind of like a spoiler, but like I said, I'm not going to do all of them. The Summer Festa, who uses the Summer Festa the best? Now, if we were to go in and analyze this, it's obviously Scarlet, the first character that they dropped. She used it the best because she's the only one that can actually take, obviously you block all the damage, and then she can AoE stun everybody as long as she has some type of buff on her. And that is amazing. You have a AoE stun. Now the stun's not long, you know, but Iris doesn't really use it that great. Neither does Valentina, and neither does Yao, because they're all single target. Now Bernadette can use it, and you know, in a nice way, but you know, this is after unleash potential, and these two already have when they do an AoE move, it's already an AoE stun. Then again, Glenn does have some pretty quirky stuff because he actually buffs an attack so he can do it, but still, the best user of it, I think we can all agree, is technically Scarlet. So the best user of Dimensional Leap is Chatty. And the reason why is because she can actually, she's like literally, in my personal opinion, the only one that can actually get up to multiple stacks besides just one. The reason why is because of Protect 3. Protect 3, she actually starts off by share healthing somebody, and if that character gets hit, she'll get a stack out of it. So now, instead of it being the same thing which we're normally used to, is that one person gets hit, you know, she gets hit, Chatty herself will get hit, and then they try to hit her again, and then she's just going to dodge, and then she loses the stacks. So it's kind of whack. Now, the only reason why I've discovered this is because of the shitty, I'm not gonna call it shitty mode, but the Coliseum. The Coliseum is like the only way that you can actually play on equal grounds with another person without being influenced by signature force. So there was a time where I saw her do ridiculous damage. I was like, what is that damage coming from this girl? And normally you're used to if it's a single target hit, as you guys know, her S2 here is 4 mana signature force. That's going to do some hefty defty right there. So I would think, well, you know, that's why she's doing so much damage in the signature force. But when I had her in Coliseum, she still did a lot of damage on the skill, and the reason why is because she was probably, at the time I wasn't really paying attention too much to it, she was very likely at 2, 3, possibly even 4 stacks, and then hit with a single target skill, and then that's why the character died. She literally has one of the best, in my opinion, without a burst, because yes, a single target burst, I'm not going to compare this skill to Rudley's S2, like that would be stupid, it'd be unfair, but her ability to have a ridiculous amount of attack is crazy. Now, just for respective purposes, whether or not I can get this on video or not, I'm going to try to get at least one example for you guys. But how insane is it if I were to tell you guys that I've seen her once hit 30k and that would be using my Chatty, obviously not this one that's here in the viewer. And this is my Chatty. She is not awakened, so that would mean that her attack is going to be below 2k. So a character that's below 2k without a burst skill is hitting 30k. You would think that that's insane. I think that most people would agree that that's insane. Like, you would only see even remotely any type of numbers, you know, above 10,000 with some type of a burst character, but she can actually hit that if she has the, you know, the crazy stacks. So that's what I kind of wanted to touch on. And how is that, how does she even do that? How does any of them do it? Especially, where is the place of a blooming someday character? Where do they shine the most? Because, you know, if you wanted to run the whole squad, I guess if you wanted to, you can kind of do it, but you know, it's obviously going to be with AoE. You want to force them into AoE comps because they're always going to get hit, and then after they do their AoE, you have at least a boost of 1,000 attack, and then with that 1,000 attack, you can then hit them harder. That's where again Chatty starts really good, because she's not exactly super slow. She's, you know, slowish, but her base speed is, you know, she's gonna go after everyone else is gone. So either she's gonna have 1 stack, or she might have 2, 3. Yes, they can attack her again. If you're fighting against the character, you can purposely get rid of the dimensional leap stacks yourself. But AI is not gonna always know who has the protect health and things like that. So they might just keep giving her stacks, because like I said, either they're gonna hit her, but if you hit the other person, which is amazing about this, is that, let's say, you know, I'm just gonna use who's right next to Schmid. Schmid's over here, and he's just hungry for damage. He just keeps getting hit. She can't dodge share health. That's kind of how this is why it works. You can't dodge it. So even though the other person keeps getting hit, whether they're getting hit with AoE or whether they're getting hit by, you know, damage over time ticks, she's gonna keep getting a stack. And yes, I've tested it. I thought it worked a certain way, but no. You only get like 1 stack per instance of damage. So I thought that you can, if there was a first AoE, I checked if she would get 2 stacks from like 1 AoE, but it doesn't work like that. I wish it did, because then it would actually make dimensionally a lot better, but it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. So let me go into a PvP instance and see if I can get it to trigger in the way that I would like to show you. All right, that was a nightmare. Hopefully I can just show it to you in a PvE instance. Okay, here we go. This should be easy. So these guys in the front have they have thrust, so they're gonna attack back. And luckily Chatty goes before them, so I'm just gonna hit the people in the back. Stop it. All right. So you can see right here is that she has no stacks right now, which is pretty cool, right? So it's gonna be very easy to see this. So I'm gonna hit this guy in the front. He's gonna get counted. They're gonna thrust back on him, and then she should have a stack. He keeps dodging. It's insane. He just... I can't get this luck in PvP. I promise you I can't. Okay, boom, he got hit. Finally. I mean, it's like the thing is resetting, but there, you just saw him get hit, and now she has a lovely little stack. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory, but showing it means a lot. So you can see here that she's getting other damage boosts, but the 1,000 is here. I don't know what other thing is boosting her attack right now. But something else is, what the hell is nest? Okay, they won't tell me. Something is nesting me. But the 1,000 is there, and if we were to survive this somehow, actually I could try to do this.
Take this.
And then hit the other one who didn't thrust me yet, and he'll hit me back, and he Where is this luck when I'm playing regularly? This is insane. But the coolest thing about it that we were always theorizing is pretty much if you can find a way that... Come on, hit me. Boom, he got hit. Woohoo! Now we got 2 stacks. But if you could find a way, as you can see, the stacks don't actually disappear unless you get hit. So if you were able to actually manipulate it, that you can keep doing this, then it's gonna be fantastic. Like, it's freaking nuts what I'm able to do. Like, just example, we're at 2 stacks here. 39. And that one was 7. So 3 and 7, that's about 10k. Again, this character's not awakened, and this is a PvE instance, so they might have they might be more tankier than what you would expect them to be. But
I'll show you.
again, a lot of this, when I do these videos, is mostly to say, like, what if this character was actually built? What if this character was actually invested into? That's kind of what I'm trying to get at when I say Chatty is the best. Same thing with Scarlet. If you invested heavily into Scarlet, you would be a really good Summer Festa character. And oh, this is great. In the PvE instance, the stacks actually stay, which is kind of nuts. All right. Now, oh, you know what? I should have done that. Now I got the attack buff from Rachel, and now it's gonna kind of like hard to show the extra stacks. Oh no, doesn't it have like a thing? Oh no, whatever. Okay, so you guys already know. Boom, hit him. He gets hit again. I got even more stacks. I keep getting more stacks, but you can't see it. I think that's what that plus is supposed to be down here, but you can't actually see it because there's just too much information. But you actually can see it up here that she's getting 4,000 plus. So that would mean that she's actually probably finally fully stacked out. You know, 5, 8, 11, 16,000 damage. Again, that's not a crit. When I said 30,000, I'm speaking of a crit, by the way. Most people probably could have figured out from a non-awakened character, but even still, 16,000. And well, and also, to be fair, she also has an attack buff from Rachel, right? From me S3ing something. So I'm trying to be transparent as possible, but still, her attack is similar to what you would have it, or even if she was awakened, she'd have like 3k attack. So those 2,000, the second stack or whatever like that, would bring her into, you know, where, look, the hard work that I've been putting into my Dorka. Dorka is at 5,000 base. Meanwhile, I can have Chatty in the midst of it, and she could have like 5,000, 6,000 attack. And that's for me, and I know that Signature Force doesn't remove a lot of the strategy and a lot of the cool stuff in the game, but for me, that's kind of why I wanted to showcase that and show it to you guys, is because there are really cool things that I really wish that they would implement or really kind of push towards, but they kind of don't. I feel like they just don't know how to, but they have it in the game. It's just that they Signature Force just kind of ruins a lot of the strategy that is actually in the game. But isn't that cool though? I just want, can you just, YFOs in the comment section below, is that not kind of cool of a way to actually utilize that system? Now, obviously, if she gets blown the hell up, or the bad thing about Protect 3 or Protect anything is that you assassinate that character, and if there's a lot of damage, that you actually get like a double kill, and that's kind of how that works. But it's all about manipulation, right? And what do I mean by manipulation? Share health goes on a character with the lowest maximum health, and also that character does get healed. So what would you want to do? Obviously, in my personal opinion, the thing that you'd actually want to do is bring in a more tankier squad, so the other guy doesn't die. And if you could possibly have it that the person with the lowest maximum HP is still somewhat of a tank. And the only way you would do that is by like somehow it's heavy manipulation. And also it's like, I've seen it where, you know, you have a Garth, and you know, the battery still doesn't have the buff because the battery has so much HP. But that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, there's a way you'd have to manipulate your team. And one of the cooler things I saw was pretty much like, I had it that my buff was on Lepin, and that's because you know, we all know my Lepin is scuffed. She got awakened blue because, you know, I didn't feel like changing her to red, which I technically should have. But, you know, when I go into the fight, when I was using it before, my shared health was on Lepin, and Lepin's ridiculously hard to kill. So, you know, especially when she gets her awakened passive, which you know, YFOs, and let me know which FC line that you guys want me to talk about next. But if she is awakened in her awakened form, she has heavy block. She's really, really hard to kill, and she has a really fat stack heal. You know, if she's built properly, her HP heal would be pretty crazy. And those two together were actually relatively hard to kill. Unfortunately, with my Chatty not being awakened, they can just kill Chatty herself because she's not strong enough to withstand hits. But if I build her up a little bit more, she would actually be able to be a decent threat, a decent either tag comp or even in a main PvP comp if she was actually built. And I feel like that's with a lot of these characters, but just that, you know, who's going to invest into them because the investment is such a long thing. But hope you guys did enjoy the deep dive into Blooming Sunday and how to utilize them. And that's how I'm going to do them. I'm going to basically focus on one of the characters because I feel like, you know, for me to tell you that FC Shell and FC Talia are good, it's kind of like duh. But, you know, where do you put them? And I think hopefully I explained that. You know, you want to definitely go into some AoE comps, you know, especially if they only have one single target nuker. Like if they AoE hit with like a battery, you know, like then the Rara on her following turn is not going to hit you because you're going to dimensional leap it. Like there's like really cool aspects that you can do if you, and especially if you focus fire target out certain characters, you'll be doing really, really good. And I hope that at least if this video makes one person awaken Chatty, I have done my job. Anyway, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, YFOs in the comment section below, and just remember that every day at the Kashino is your lucky day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.